Hello and welcome to Soundwaves, the show all about bringing the latest in music directly to your ears. I'm your host Charlotte, and on today's show we're focusing on the world of live music venues, what it takes to become a successful artist, and hearing the public's opinions on retro ways of listening to music. And over in Studio 111...
Welcome back to Studio 111, where we'll have an amazing opportunity to see live performance of Holly in a few minutes. See you later, back to the TV studio.
Now I think we should find out some more about our first guest and how she's gotten to where she currently is in her musical journey. Let's take a look.
Holly is a singer-songwriter who also has a passion for guitar and piano. She has been singing for as long as she can remember, but started lessons when she was 12 years old. She has been gigging for a long time, but when she was around 16 and 17, Holly realised writing songs was what she loved to do the most. Holly's songwriting is emotive and thoughtful, with a strong sense of storytelling throughout. Influenced lyrically by artists like Gracie Abrams and Taylor Swift, and musically by Olivia Rodrigo, Noah Kahan and Sam Fender. She is never afraid to be vulnerable in her songs, discussing topics from love and heartbreak to anxiety and insecurity. She describes them as experiences she has dealt with in her life. She writes because she enjoys it, but also as a way to cope and process whatever she is feeling. Holly hopes one day her songs can help someone feel understood in the way music has for her.
Welcome to the show, Holly. So, what made you want to start writing your own songs?
I've just loved music for a long time, and I remember I was in like a music class in like year 8 or something, and we got told to like go and write a song after being given a prompt, and then ever since then the rest is kind of history. I started taking it a lot more seriously as I got older, but yeah, I just really liked it the first time I did it, and then just never stopped. So.
Yeah, love that. So, do you have any favourite songs that you've written or released?
Well, I write a lot of songs, I'd say. I know my parents' favourite is a song I wrote when I was like just after I turned 18 called When You Think of Me, so I do like that one because I've done that with a band before and it's really cool, but yeah. I have another one called DC, which all my friends say is like one they relate to a lot, which is quite sad because it is a sad song, but I do like that one too.
Yeah. So do you have any upcoming music that you're planning on releasing?
Yeah, I'm hoping for a single release around like early mid-February. I go to uni in Leeds, so I do a lot of my music work there, so yeah. Just working with a lot of producers there, so yeah, should be
cool.
Fun.
So do you face any struggle when it comes to writing or getting your music out there?
In terms of writing, I'd say occasionally. I was in a bit of a rut like this past 2 weeks, and I was telling my tutor, I was like, I don't know what to say at all, and then I like scrolled through my notes app and found a random thing like from months ago, and then just wrote a whole song around that, so I out my rut, I guess. In terms of putting music out, it's just like a very busy industry, so like trying to get your own unique selling point or like why people should listen to you is a little bit harder because there's so many people that want to do the same thing. So
yeah. So do you have any words of wisdom to those who want to write and produce their own music?
I'd say just like do it. If you don't, you're never actually going to get better, because there's songs that I wrote like when I was like 13 or 14, and you look back and it's like, oh my god, they're so bad, but then I wouldn't have the songs that I love today if I didn't start and write those really bad songs.
Yeah. So you mentioned that your friends liked quite a heavy song that you wrote. Is that the theme for most of your songs?
Yeah, I do have a habit of writing sad songs. I don't know, I feel like they're the best way to use words have the most power when they're used in a sad way. It's because sometimes I just find in happy songs I can just make myself cringe so much and I hate it. But I have written some like happier ones recently, which is always good. But
yeah. So you said that you've got upcoming music that you're working with. Anything in particular? Are you very far along in that process, or?
Yeah, I'd say for one song it just needs drums and vocals, and then it needs like all the mixing and mastering stuff, which I have someone else do that for me. And then another one is just kind of like just needs a few more instruments, and then mixing and mastering. And then cover shoots, which no one actually tells you. Cover shoots are so irritating to do, but it's all part of the process. So.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you for chatting with us today. So now we've heard about how an artist might start up in the world of music. In a moment, we're going to talk to someone further along in their career to see how things differ and to find out all the insider info. But first, let's take a look at this week's competition. There's still time to enter this ongoing monthly competition. This month's competition is a chance to win 2 VIP tickets to Sabrina Carpenter at the Co-op Live Arena in Manchester. The VIP experience includes backstage access before the gig, a meet and greet with Sabrina, and then during the show you'll be treated to comfy seats, table service and a great view. To enter, post your entry to PO Box 18 Queensway Preston, PR612XF. The winner will be drawn on the 27th of December. Good luck. Now it's time to meet our next guest, a musician who is here today to talk about his progression as a producer and performer. We have a short package to introduce you at home to Mark. Let's find out more.
Mark Winstanley is a musician, producer and songwriter who's played across Europe in various roles such as keyboards for The Animals, guitar with the X Factor artist, and also drumming with established rock bands. He has written songs for television, commercial, radio, singers, orchestras and musicals. He's run successful recording studios and community-based musical projects. He gives workshops on recording, songwriting and regularly teaches in schools across the Northwest.
Welcome to the show, Mark.
Hello.
So, what was it that made you want to pursue a career in music?
When I was 11, my dad got his drum kit out. He'd stopped playing for years and played it. And the second he started playing, that was it. It was game over. It was the best thing I'd ever heard. So every night he used to bring me records, a new record up, whether it was Queen or Beatles, and I've been able to think about nothing else since.
Wow. So we saw that you played quite a few instruments. Do you have like a favourite that you like to play, or?
Probably the drums, because they're the noisiest and you get the sweatiest playing. It's brilliant. You can kind of dictate how a song goes, so you can slow it down, you can kind of give it dynamics, you can change the feel, so probably drums.
Nice. So what or who was your biggest inspiration? What got you into music?
Queen, probably. Well, growing up, I used to kind of jump all over the couch to Michael Jackson songs on MTV. So there was that, and Prince, just the classics, Freddie Mercury, Beatles, you know, yeah.
Nothing beats the classics.
Yes.
So what's your advice for people wanting to create their own music?
So if, so first of all, if the direction you take it in has to be really true to who you are. So if you're going to make music, make sure you're being as uniquely you as you can possibly be, and do it because you love it. You know, don't do it because you want to be cool or make money, because you probably won't make money in the end. You just got to do it because you love it, and just keep on doing it and take every opportunity you can, and you know, try and make as many friends as you can.
Yeah. Have you found it hard to like establish yourself in the music industry?
I've done it a long time. I think it's just who you know.
Yeah.
It really is who you know. So make sure you talk to everyone at every gig, swap details, and just do as many projects as you can.
Yeah. So when you are gigging, is it just in England? Have you done tours like throughout Europe or America?
Yeah, well, when I was younger, I did a lot of tours in Europe and Australia and New Zealand and stuff. But then when I turned 30, I thought I'd better grow up. That didn't last long. And then I was a teacher in a school for a while, but then I missed you know, being a bit of a nomad and a
Yeah.
bit of a gypsy and going everywhere and meeting new people. So yeah, so I'm back.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, thank you for coming to the studio to talk to us today. So we wanted to get an insight into how music venues, how size and reputation can have an influence on the artists performing there, and also the audiences that come to watch. We went out to the Ferret, a local small music venue in Preston, and spoke to one of the owners to find out how he feels smaller venues hold up against the larger mainstream music venues. Let's see what he thinks.
My name is Ian Corwood and I'm part owner, I'm a director at the Ferret. We're pretty much the only completely and utterly devoted live music venue in Preston. That means that we can be more, tailor what we do to make it the best live music experience you're going to get. I think the massive arena gigs, they are very detached from the audience in a big way. Ticket prices and then the level of touting and stuff like that is pretty horrendous. I won't go to a big venue anymore. It's not particularly enjoyable because if you want to see anything particularly, you're looking at a screen, not the stage, and it's like watching it on the telly. I think also those arenas have got to realise that they are at the top of a financial pile, and if they don't help out the venues at this level, grassroots level, under 300 or 400 cap, they're not going to have an awful lot of choice in the future of being able to put big bands on because they're not going to have any experience of performing live.
It's nice to have you back, Holly. So what did you think of what Ian was saying there? Do you agree with what he was saying about smaller venues?
I'd say smaller venues are really, really important, especially for small artists and stuff. I definitely disagree with what he said about arenas being quite detached from the artists and stuff. I went to a few gigs in summer that were in stadiums. I saw Taylor Swift a couple of times, I saw Noah Kahan, whatever. And I guess it does depend on the artist and how they perform, but I would never say I felt detached. For me, at certain points, I was like, oh my God, Taylor Swift is singing just to me right in this very moment, not the other 90,000 people here. And I also think there's a nice part of having so many people that feel the exact same way as you do in that moment. Like I said, small venues are still very important, so I just think it's about getting a good balance.
Yeah. Do you think the same?
No.
No.
No, I totally agree. It was a really good answer as well. I much prefer smaller venues. It's kind of for me, it's all about the music. You feel like you know.
Yeah.
But big venues are super important because they get more people in. A band might only be able to play for one day in that country, and also a big production. You could have things exploding and things. Yeah.
So do you prefer going to smaller venues or large venues as a performer? Have you gotten the chance to perform in larger venues?
I prefer smaller as well. I always prefer smaller. When you're in a big venue, I think you mentioned, we're talking, sometimes the lights aren't even on, so you can't even see anyone out there anyway. So when you're in a small, you can see the whites in people's eyes and you can kind of play off them and perform differently every single time,
the biggest stuff I've done is probably festivals, so that is outdoors and it does feel like everyone is further back and it does feel a bit more detached, which I don't like as much. Whenever I've done smaller gigs, it is nice to gauge how people take your stuff, especially as a songwriter. It's nice to see how people react to what you said. But I mean, I did do a small gig the other week and I could not see anyone because the lights were just so bright, so I couldn't really gauge anything then. But yeah, it's nice to see how people react when it's a small venue.
Yeah, I mean, I think smaller venues have it being more of an intimate setting. It will be easier for the performer to perform to the audience.
Yeah, you feel like a part of a club, I think. When you're in a big festival, you're in the middle of a field, it's cold, you're thinking about, have I got the right coat? The bar's a mile that way. Whether you're in this place, you're in the zone, you're the friend,
Yeah, perfect. Well, I think it's clear to see how smaller venues are important in helping small artists kickstart their careers. We're cutting to the news now, so we'll see you later. Hello and welcome back to Soundwaves. Still to come on the show, we get to speak to the public and hear their thoughts on how physical music has changed over the years. We will check in with our lucky audience members eagerly awaiting the debut performance of Holly. And then it's showtime, Holly's debut performance. As always, if you want to get in touch with us, drop us a message on our socials at Soundwaves using the hashtag WaveAtHome. Our Twitter page has been very busy with excitement over the latest competition being the biggest one yet. That said, if you're just tuning in, there's still time to enter into our ongoing monthly competition. This month's competition is a chance to win 2 VIP tickets to Sabrina Carpenter at the Co-op Live Arena in Manchester. The VIP experience includes backstage access before the gig, a meet and greet with Sabrina, and then during the show you will be treated to comfy seats, table service and a great view. To enter, post your entry to PO Box 18 Queensway Preston, PR61 2XF. The winner will be drawn on the 27th of December. Good luck. Now let's head over to Inez, who is chatting with our lucky audience eagerly awaiting Holly's performance.
And welcome back to Studio 111 with our fellow winners of the last month's competition. Let's have a look. Woo! We're so happy to see them. So let's ask them a few questions. Let's go over here first. What's your name?
Emily.
Hi Emily, how are you doing today?
Bit tired but very excited.
We love to hear that. So, how did you feel when you got announced as one of the lucky winners for this competition and to see Holly perform live?
I mean, I genuinely don't have luck with these, but I'm actually very surprised and really excited.
Amazing. So, like, what are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, just seeing them in person and getting to hear the music, like, first. I mean, I've only seen them over screen before, so this is amazing.
Right, and because like you're such a big fan, so it's like amazing opportunity to see it like for the first time and live.
I know, yeah. I'm so excited. Sorry, I'm really nervous.
That's fine, that's fine. Let's head over to our next winner. Hello, what's your name?
My name's Alex.
Hi, Alex. So, same questions. How did you feel when you won this competition?
I was really shocked. I didn't expect this, but I'm really happy.
We love to hear that. And do you have any favorite songs from Holly?
I can't choose. There's so many. I just can't pick one.
That's fully understandable. I also love Holly, and all her songs are bangers. And what's your name?
Daisy.
Hi, Daisy. So, what made you like a Holly fan slash stan, like in the first, but like what captivated you about her?
I think it was just some of her songs. They had like a lot of meaning that I could relate to.
You could like connect, and she knows how to connect with the audience. And now you have this amazing opportunity to see her live as well. So that must be like out of this world like, experience.
Yeah, it's like a dream come true.
Oh, that's amazing. Holly, your fans love you. Okay. Now what's your name?
My name is Sam.
Okay, hi Sam. Thank you for that. So how do you feel today?
Speechless.
Speechless. And why is that?
Because I'm finally getting to see Holly.
That's very you know, it's amazing opportunity, right? And any words for Holly?
We love you, Holly.
You heard it first. We love you, Holly. And one more question. Are we happy to be here today?
Yes.
Yes, that's amazing. So back to the studio now.
Coming up next, let's have a listen to the public's thoughts on whether they think the old ways of listening to music are making a comeback.
Yeah, I definitely think vinyls are coming back into fashion because of the aesthetic.
I think it is, but I think the old-fashioned way is quite an expensive way of listening to music, as, you know, there's loads of things involved, like CDs, you've got to get a CD reader and all that, and it's too expensive. Young people can't afford that.
I think they're more like trendy. Like they're more of just like a statement if you want to use like vinyl or something like that. I don't think that people are using that practically to listen to it, but yeah, it's just more of a trend to put back.
I find it's good like using like physical media for like music and stuff. Like I have like quite a big like album collection of like CDs and stuff, so I'd like it to come back into style.
The aesthetic, or do you actually like use like the vinyls and CDs? So
it's more for the aesthetic at the moment, but I do want to get a CD player and like use it, because I do think like having physical media is like really good, as well as having like digital copies, because it lasts longer as well, as the case like streaming services go.
So did you used to listen to vinyl or CDs?
Definitely, yeah. When I was at school, I used to save up for my dinner money and then buy a CD at the end of the week. And at the time, vinyl has been. So it was 50p a record, so I've got hundreds of them. They're brilliant, yeah.
Do you have a favourite out of all the ones you have?
Oh, yeah. I've got a Queen record that's like a picture disc. So yeah, I think that's exciting as well, because they don't just have to be black. You get all these kind of see-through ones and colours, and yeah.
So it's interesting you say that, because a lot of people collect them for the aesthetic and not not to listen to them. So do you think they're making a comeback for the right reason, or is it more of a fashion statement now?
I don't think there's a wrong reason to have vinyl. They sound a lot better because they're not compressed like CDs and MP3s are, so all the instruments kind of pop out, they have their own place when you play them. But also, I think it's great when you have something physical, because you're more invested in it, and you listen to the whole thing rather than just keep skipping tracks. You just let it play.
Yeah. So obviously streaming services are very big now. Do you have a go-to streaming service, or do you avoid them?
Spotify, all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could pay their artists more, definitely. But it's priceless, being able to listen to anything, anywhere, anytime. And then it kind of suggests other bands. That I found my new favourite bands by saying, maybe you should listen to this. And then I'll go and watch those people. I'll go buy the merchandise, go follow them on tour, on Twitter, whatever it is. Brilliant.
Yeah. So do you have a favourite genre of music?
They're all good to me. I think music's like food. You know, it depends what mood you're in. If I'm in a great mood, I'll listen to, I'll probably show my age here, like ELO or something. And if I'm sad, I'll listen to Celine Dion. Probably won't, actually. But, yeah, I love funk, rap, metal. It's just all good. And it's just all mood-based, yeah.
I guess that's another good thing about streaming services, because you can make your own playlist and you can have loads of different genres all in one. Do you have any playlists like that, or is it just?
Yeah, yeah, that's really good. So it becomes more than music then. I think it's really good. I've got one called Connecting to the Universe, where I'm trying to, be all spiritual and stuff. So it does actually, rather than just pop it, it becomes part of your life, really.
Yeah. I mean, I have loads, hundreds of ones that I've made myself. I have one similar. Hundreds of playlists.
Wow.
I have one similar to that, although it's called Screaming at the Universe. So, so it's not quite the same vibe, probably, but.
I want to know what's on that plate. You've got one called Screaming at the.
Yeah, it's more like sad songs, really sad and angry. When I'm not in the mood to be around people.
How long's your longest playlist?
Oh, I'd say my longest playlist is a Broadway one, and it's getting close to 24 hours long now.
24 hours.
Yeah, but that's only because I have like the entire playlist, like one after the other, and I've got about 20 musicals on there. But yeah, thank you for that. Well, that's all we have time for, folks. I would like to thank our guests for being with us today. Thanks to Holly and Mark for sharing their knowledge of the music industry. I would also like to thank you at home for watching. I'm delighted to introduce now Holly Walsh for her debut performance of Lie.